Hello everyone, welcome to another Versus video. Today we're going to be battling a little bit of an older format than Standard, Legacy.
Yep.
So Conspiracy has just come out, and CVM is going to be battling with one of the new Conspiracy cards. Council's Judgment, is that the name of the card? Or is it Will?
I think so.
Is it Will of the Council? Or
I'm going to call... I'll probably get a game loss this weekend by writing Will of the Council on my deck on my deck registration sheet.
Yeah, but it's Council's Judgment, and it looks like it'll be a pretty sweet card in Legacy.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to battle two sweet decks against each other to see if it's actually good enough or not. But
so you don't have True Name Nemesis, which is what it's designed to kill, but Tarmogoyf has a pretty big target on its head, as does Tombstalker. So yeah, we got answers.
But before we begin, we have to decide who gets the player draw first.
Exactly. So we're going to play the same poison game, inspired by the Princess Bride that we played the last couple of weeks. I luckily was able to win last week on sheer luck by itself. So this time we're going to do it random. Shuffle these up a little bit.
Well, luckily I have built up an immunity to germicane powder.
Sure.
So
we're just going to go ahead and do this.
All right, I'll just take this one. All right, I'll be on the play. Too easy. It is just too easy. Like, that's all I gotta say.
Oh man.
All right, I'm gonna be on the play, and this is looking like a good one. By that I mean it is a very good one. So I'm gonna keep.
This one is not a very good one.
Lucky.
And I can't keep. So the old 5-land Elspeth Van Deen click.
Probably not gonna get there. I see Basic Forest and Caracas also in the mix.
All right, best 6 ever.
Oh, not even NA?
Not even NA.
Just straight.
This is the perfect 3. Oh, this hand is just as bad.
When you said the perfect 3, I was thinking like actual perfect 3, like Noble Hierarch,
oh no,
lands.
It was just like non-blue land, Van Deen click. Oh. I don't know if I can even win going to 5 against a deck with Thoughtseize. So we'll give this one a shot.
What is that buzzing sound I hear? Is it Delver of Secrets?
I hope it stays a human the entire game. That's what I hope.
Well,
that was a good draw.
I hope it doesn't.
I'll fetch.
You would do that.
19.
Tropical Islands.
Tropical
Noble
Island.
Hierarch.
I'm going to cast a Green Sun Zenith.
For 0?
For 0.
I'm going to go ahead and daze that so that he does not get the acceleration that he desires.
You would.
I would absolutely do that. Yeah, so
go ahead.
Especially on a mulligan to 6, like I want to keep him off. All right, so we'll trigger Delver of Secrets. We will not reveal it.
All right, step 1.
So yeah, CVM step 1 is already.
You have another spell.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and Thoughtseize you.
Yeah, which one do you want?
I'll take the Vendilion click. Don't draw Stoneforge Mystic. All right, so you have Savannah, Caracas, Misty, and Skull. And
I'm actually much happier with the Thoughtseize than like a Delver or a Deathrite Shaman there.
Yeah.
18.
If you draw Stoneforge off the top, you can still win this game. Go.
That is not Stoneforge Mystic. In fact, probably the most opposite card in my deck from a Stoneforge Mystic.
Is it Numazawa's Jit? I hope it is.
No, that would be close.
Your
turn.
All right. So my hand's pretty garbage here, so I'm gonna go ahead and brainstorm in my upkeep.
I hope you still can't flip this Delver.
1. Well, it's flipping, so. All right. So brainstorm and upkeep, and I don't want this. Well, so how do I want to do this? I don't want this card at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these 2 back like this. I'm going to reveal Gitaxian Probe, flip my Delver of Secrets, and I'm going to draw Gitaxian Probe. And then I'm going to go ahead and fetch down to 17, getting, I guess I will get a, let's see our hand here. We have to get a Bayou, which will help us cast all of our spells.
Oh no, that means you have Liliana.
will go ahead and pay 2 life to Gitaxian Probe.
Alright, well, I have these 3. Can you guess what this is? The card in my deck that's furthest from Stoneforge Mystic.
Furthest from Stoneforge Mystic?
Yeah.
Dark Depths. No. Progenitus, okay. Alright, we got the old Progenitus. Yeah, Caracas Savannah.
Yeah, still the same 3 lands.
Yeah, I can't read my own handwriting, so that's why I had to. Alright, so I get to draw a card off that probe.
So you're at 15?
I'm at 15, and I'll crash in for 3.
So am I.
We are both at 15 life, and I'm just going to have to pass the turn.
Alright, well, I'm going to fetch.
Okay.
So this reduces the effectiveness of Brainstorm, since I don't have another fetch in my hand. But I can at least go and get a Dryad Arbor.
That's pretty lucky.
Which will protect a creature from Liliana if he has one. I can start attacking, and makes Natural Order live if he just doesn't have an answer for it. Alright. I'll take a Neither Reliquary.
Don't do it.
It's not Neither Reliquary.
I hope it's Craterhoof Behemoth.
I'm going to waste this Underground Sea.
That's pretty good.
I'll attack you.
Alright, 14.
There you go. Probably should have got the Bayou since it shuts off like Tarmogoyf and other creatures, but I'd rather shut off your cantrips.
Alright, so a couple of options here for us. One is we just get this thing going, which is probably the best play for us here. And then the next turns we can spend, so we can play this turn, and the next turn we can cast this and do this, and the following turn we can do this. Just to try to set him back some. And I think that is probably our best bet. But we're going to start by crashing on in with our Aberration. I'm going to fetch and get an Underground Sea again. So he has land, creature, and sorcery in his graveyard.
And you have instant.
And I have instant. So I'm going to cast Tombstalker, and I'm going to remove everything except my instant. That way, any potential Goyfs will be larger that way. And I'm going to pass the turn to you. You should attack with Dryad Arbor.
I should. Well, I think I'm just going to play this.
Ooh.
And I'll pass the turn.
He can copy his Dryad Arbor with Thespian Stage.
I can.
He so chooses. Alright, well I'm going to start off with yet another Gitaxian Probe.
Well, you know what I have.
I do. So he is... I am down to 11. I'm going to draw off the probe. We don't really need to cast this card because we know what he has. So
you don't need a Thoughtseize?
Don't need a Thoughtseize.
You don't want to get rid of this Progenitus?
I will crash in for 8, put you down to 3.
Yep.
Cast a Tarmogoyf and play a Wasteland and pass the turn.
You have a Wasteland? That's not nice. Just actual perfects. I don't think I can actually win this game. So...
Alright, we are back for game numero dos. Okay, come on, baby. Had it.
I guess I'll keep mine.
I'll keep mine.
Oh, you're snapping it off?
Alright, it's not a snap keep, but it's definitely a keep.
Alright, well... We're going to...
Noble.
Great Sun.
Resolves.
Alright, we'll get a Dryad Arbor and then pass.
Alright, I'll draw for turn. And I will fetch for an Underground Sea and cast a Deathrite Shaman. So I'm leading with Deathrite here because it gives me additional opportunity to cast more spells next turn, basically. And I'm at 19.
Yep. My turn?
Yep.
Alright, well that is a cute one. So we will... I'm going to plow here.
Boo. Back to 20.
I'll play a stage and attack you for one.
Back to 19.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Ponder.
Resolves.
So I'm gonna keep the Ponder, and I want to keep it in this order. So that way I can play this, and then next turn, so I can play this turn. Next turn I can draw this card, and play this, and then reveal off of this. So that is exactly what we want to do. So I'll go ahead and draw. I will cast Deathrite Shaman, and I'll pass the turn.
Okay.
So do not play the card Dark Depths.
Oh, I have it, so I'm gonna play Dark Depths. And so the problem here is, if I make the 2020 now, he can kill it. Well, he can't kill Liliana because I have a Dryad Arbor. So that makes me think that I should just make it now. Because that he can't have 5 mana, so we can't decay and Liliana. So yeah, we're just going to target. I'll choose to keep this one.
Yep.
And sacrifice for a 2020. And I'll say go.
Lucky. Alright, draw for turn. What are our outs here? I also can't decay your Dryad Arbor anyway.
Oh yeah, it's a land. That is true. Man, that card could hit lands. I guess, yeah, it can't hit me to vault, so.
Brainstorm.
Resolves.
Dead. Alright, we are back for sideboarding. I'm not going to make a whole lot of changes to my deck. I actually like a lot of the cards in my main deck against you. I definitely want Disfigure, though. Disfigure kills, like, Dryad Arbor, Noble Hierarch, Vendilion Click, Stoneforge Mystic. Can also kill...
like Pride Mage and stuff, too.
Yeah, it can kill, like, Pride Mage or occasionally get Ooze if you have to tap out for it. So, I think Disfigure is actually pretty strong in the matchup. And then I don't know for sure on Sylvan Library, but I have a feeling that it's going to be very good because, sure, that game he just 20-20'd us with his 2 1-ofs, but most games are not going to be like that. And generally speaking, I'm the aggressor, and he's not really pressuring my life total that much, so I think I'll be able to draw a lot of cards off the Sylvan Library.
Makes sense.
And then as for what I'm cutting 2 Tombstalkers because he brings in, like, Path, and he has Swords of Plowshares, and Tombstalker makes my Tarmogoyfs a little bit worse, removing a bunch of cards from the graveyard. And also, like, if he happens to bring in, you know, Rest in Peace or just some random graveyard hate card,
Yeah.
I don't want to have to spend 8 mana on Tombstalker.
I've done it before.
So it's could be a liability there. And I'm bringing citing out Hymn to Torque as well because I want Thoughtseize. I'd rather target his hand, especially with cards like Stoneforge Mystic in his deck, as opposed to Hymn to Torque. And I'm not actually a huge fan of him in a deck like this anyway because I think you want to be more efficient with your mana, generally speaking.
For sure. As far as what I'm bringing in 2 Paths that has known basics in his deck, and it's just a 1 mana removal spell for Delver and Tarmogoyf. The other Stoneforge Mystic, a Life from the Loam, since he seems fairly weak to the 2020 plan. Plus, with only 19 lands and no basics, if I happen to get Wasteland with life going, I can just put the game away fairly quickly. And then a Maze of Ith just as another answer to an early Delver of Secrets if I happen to fall behind. I'm cutting the 3 Natural Order and the Crater Hoof and the Progenitus, so I'm just getting rid of the package. It seems super vulnerable to cards like Liliana, as well as, you know, Daze and Force of Will, and most of the time out of these decks you can expect some number of Spell Pierce, so if they ever happen to see Natural Order, they're just going to be worried about it the whole game, whether or not it's in my deck. So I'm just going to take it out, get rid of it. He's still going to have to play around it, or like in a tournament, he just wouldn't know that I sideboarded it out, and just I never have the chance to get caught with my pants down if I have to go for it.
Sounds good to me.
Let's give it a shot.
Because I don't want to see you caught with your pants down. So, all right, we are back for game number 3. I get to be on the play, and yeah.
God, that just means he's going to keep it.
Oh, of course I'm going to keep it. There's no question about that, but it's not a particularly exciting hand. It's pretty slow, but our cards are still good, so I am going to keep it, but it is kind of slow.
This deck just hates me.
Shit.
All right, best 6, South Africa.
I was going to say South America, but it's SA either way.
I'll keep.
All right. I'm going to begin the games with a strong old Gitaxian Probe.
All right, well, you get to see that I actually have a good hand.
Ah, okay, all right. Well, it is a Trop, Karak, a Plow, a Path, and a Click. So that hand is actually pretty good. I'm missing something.
Is it the Hierarch that you're going to Thoughtseize out of my hand?
Okay, it's the Hierarch. I'm missing the Hierarch. All right, so I'm at 18. I draw a card off of that. Oh, hey! And it's a Deathrite Shaman, so...
How lucky.
Very lucky. And I'm going to go ahead and Underground see that. And I'll ship it off to you. So I'm at 17. And that's why you spend mana on Gitaxian Probe, even if you don't already have a 1-mana play.
For sure.
Especially in a deck like this.
Okay, so here we have to be worried about the Deathrite Shaman. Daze is a very real card, and because we have 2 answers, I think we still just want to go for an answer, or for a removal spell on his Deathrite Shaman now. Worst case scenario, he just like dazes into a Wasteland on my Caracas. But even if he has a Daze, he can't play Liliana next turn, which is the card that we're scared of the most right now. So I am going to Swords to Plowshares to your Deathrite Shaman.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and Daze that because I do want to protect my Deathrite. So.
And they always have it.
Yep.
So go ahead.
And I'll draw for turn. Hey, look at that. All right, so that was a Caracas and a Swords to Plowshares that was played. So I know he has a Tropical Island, a Path to Exile, a Van Click, and a Noble Hierarch. He can cast Noble Hierarch next turn and Path to Exile. Those are both cards he can cast. Yeah, I think we just want to set him back, so I'm going to go ahead and waste that and then crush in for 1.
19.
Go ahead. It'll slow us down a bit, but it also slows him down, which I think is important. Alright, so Trop Noble Hierarch resolves.
Go.
It also gives us a chance to draw something for this, too. Which we do. Perfect. So I'll go ahead and exile your Caracas and cast old Big Tarmogoyf and pass it back to you.
Okay. So the Goyf is, we have instant sorcery land. So there's a 3/4.
Yep. And another thing to note is it's always important to remove from your opponent's graveyard first. Not only do we have Tombstalker in our deck, we did side it out, but we do have it in game 1s, but he has Knight of the Reliquary, so, and Life from the Loam, so.
All right, well, I'm going to start off with a Brainstorm.
A Brainstorm. So, let's see. What do we know he has? He has a Path and a Click, are 2 cards that we know he has. He probably has a fetch land if he's brainstorming, but I'm going to go ahead and say that that's fine.
Okay. So now we have to put 2 cards back. And I think that we just want to put these 2 back. Because our plan is going to be to cast some number of these cards. You have 4 cards in hand?
I do.
So, more than likely he has a Force of Will. Since they always have Deathrite Shaman Day's Force of Will.
No.
So let's go ahead and put these 2 back. I'm going to put them back like this. And we don't have a fetch land, but we did draw Horizon Canopy.
Okay. You take a point.
Yeah.
On to 18.
Go to 18. And we will... we're going to path the Tarmogoyf.
So I know he's going to have a Vendilion Click at some point. I think I want to keep the Goyf because it's just a sizable gent. So I'm going to force pitching days. Drop to 16. Goyf can attack through the Vendilion Click we know he has. So I want to keep it in play.
Okay.
Attack for 1.
So here I can cast this now, or I can cast this and try to utilize the card that's on top of my deck. I feel like I'd rather just use this now to get rid of his guy. So
another one?
Yeah, we're gonna plow the Tarmogoyf.
Alright, so I gain 3 life.
Yeah, we had instant land sorcery.
So I'm up to 19.
And then I'll pass.
Alright, well that's unfortunate for us. I'm going to go ahead and hope that he doesn't have another blue source besides the one he has in play. So I'm going to fetch down to 18, grab a Bayou. I think Underground Sea Bayou are the 2 lands you pretty much always want to have in play with this deck.
Now I actually did contemplate killing your Deathrite Shaman instead of the Tarmogoyf to play around the effectiveness of Liliana. But
well, I mean, you said that they always have, Days Force of Will with Deathrite Shaman. I think you forgot the part where they also have the Liliana.
Yeah, well.
So you have no lands, unfortunately, so I have to get rid of one of my own. And I'm going to make you sacrifice a creature.
Yep.
You're up. Another Noble Hierarch.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, all right, we're both at 18. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So he does not have another blue source other than that Noble Hierarch for his Vendilion Click.
Yeah, because I knew what was coming on top of my deck, I probably should have just killed the Deathrite Shaman.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and make us both discard a card. Discarding in days. And he's discarding Jace. Okay. So we know he has Vendilion Click then. And I'm just going to pass the turn. I can use Deathrite's ability. And also block his Noble Hierarch from attacking Liliana.
I'm going to pass the turn.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and exile your Brainstorm.
Okay.
Down to 16.
Now I have to decide if I want to use this in his draw step or wait.
Alright, so
he's already used 2 dazes. I'm, 'cause, 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 ' I think that I will do it in his draw step. So after you draw,
Okay.
I'll take 1, go to 17, and we're going to cast Vendilion Click.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and daze the Vendilion Click, and I'm gonna pay mana for the daze.
Jeez. Did you draw the daze?
No, I had it.
Oh.
I'm gonna pay mana for the daze. That way, I can play this as my land for the turn, and then take up Liliana without discarding. Ooh, that's gross. Go ahead. I might have also been right to make him sack his Hierarch, but
So I'm at 17, and you're at 16.
I have it actually the other way around. You're at 16, I'm at 17. I have you going.
Oh yeah, I took the 2 damage from the.
Yep.
From the death right off myself.
And I'm at 17, not 18, because I had to force.
Okay. So I guess we just have to draw a card.
Okay.
And I'll pass.
All right, I'll exile Swords of Pleasures, or I'll get Path Exile. So, even though I know his list and know he doesn't have Snapcaster Mage, it's feasible that he does. And Plow is worse than Path against us. So, all right, I'm gonna cast Ponder.
Yep.
And that is pretty brutal. So, we're gonna keep him in this order. Actually, correction. I'll keep him in this order so we can draw this and still play this next turn. And I will draw. I will have you sacrifice a creature. I will wasteland your Tundra. And say go.
Go.
Exile Plow. You're at 12. I will cast Brainstorm.
Sure.
We want to keep them in exactly this order. Wasteland your Savannah. We'll discard a card. And you're up.
Go.
Eat Plow. Alright, I will Ponder.
Yep.
I guess I'll keep this. I mean, it doesn't really do that much, but you know, maybe one of these will get us somewhere. So I'll keep it and I'll Brainstorm.
Yep.
And yeah, it's fine. We'll put them back like this because we don't actually need to use. We don't actually need to use any of these right now. So we'll put these 2 back. Play our land for the turn and then take up Liliana. You can discard Ye Old Batterskull and pass the turn. Okay, I will exile Gitaxian Probe, sure.
8.
An 8. Untap. Draw. Brainstorm. Alright, so we definitely don't want either of these 2. So I'm going to put these back. And probably end up fetching. I'm going to go ahead and Abrupt Decay the Hierarch, take up Liliana. I'll go ahead and fetch now and say go. Just get another Bayou, actually. Just going to draw a runner, Thespian Stage, another land. I guess I could start gaining life now to play around
2
it.
turns?
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be possible, but
yeah. I will exile Abrupt Decay.
6.
Draw for turn. Cast Delver. Take up Liliana. Say go.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. All right. So I am re-sideboarding. One of the things about a card like Daze is it's much better on the play than the draw. which we
Yep.
definitely saw the last game where I got to play Deathrite, and then daze his removal spell for it. But on the draw, it's a lot worse. You don't have as much of an opportunity to do that. Especially against a deck playing Noble Hierarch and Green Sun Zenith, it's much harder to like interact with his cards with daze. So I'm going to side them out on the draw, and I'm going to bring in another Thoughtseize to proactively attack his hand. Vendilion Click for the same reason. I want to attack. If he plays a Stoneforge Mystic, I want to get his Batterskull or his Jet out of his hand. And another Force of Will. And I'm also bringing in Vendilion Click. Like, I could theoretically bring in a couple of different cards over Vendilion Click, but the blue count in this deck is actually kind of low, especially if we side out 4 dazes. So I want to bring in 2 other blue cards so that Force of Will is not just an actual brick in our hand.
Makes sense.
So.
All right, we're back for game number
4. Yep.
Quattro. I get to be on the play. And I think this hand's okay. We've got some ways to interact, some ways to protect our cards, and lands.
I have a full house of Thoughtseize over Force of Will and 2/2 drops.
You're going to mulligan?
Yes.
This doesn't happen.
It does. It does happen.
Are you sure? Did you even think about keeping that hand?
I thought about it. I should have looked at the top card. All right. Worst 6 ever. All right. Well, we're already keeping. Yeah, we're going to keep this. So, keep.
All right. Go.
Ooh, no turn 1 play. I like
This-
that a
This
lot.
deck doesn't play very many of those.
All right. Well, I'm going to probe you. And see what we're looking at here. That's a pretty good hand. So I'm at 18, and you have a Click, Brainstorm, Plow, Misty, Heath, no Waste. All right. Go.
I'll fetch.
Cut.
I'm going to shortcut and do this one too.
Sure. So you're at 18. Stoneforge.
Actually. And I'll green sun for 1.
Cut. Results.
Get a Noble Hierarch. And I will pass the turn. Disfigure.
Yeah, I'll disfigure it.
Disfigure.
That may be loose actually, but since I know he has like plenty of mana in his hand, but I think it's probably still right.
Go ahead.
Draw.
Could have been right to Wasteland and then Zenith for 0.
I'll go ahead and Brainstorm.
Yep.
That was a good Brainstorm. Let's put this. I think I want to put this over this on top of my deck. That way we're protected from the Click we know he has. But that, yeah, that seems fine. Yeah, I'll put these 2 back like that. And then I'll go ahead and cast Delver's Secrets. Go ahead.
You have 4 cards?
I do. He does have a Plow, but that's fine.
Alright, I will Brainstorm.
So there's Brainstorm, and your hand is... You have how many cards in your hand?
5.
I know 4 of the cards in his hand, and I'm not, like, that worried about them. Oh, man. Windswept Heath, Wasteland. He has a Windswept Heath, Wasteland, a Plow, and a Vendilion Click. And if he's drawn any more lands, his hand's kind of bad. So this may seem weird, but I'm actually going to Force of Will his Brainstorm. And I'm deciding what I want to pitch. I think... So, I already have... I have this. I have another one of these. So, there's merit in keeping this instead. Especially since I don't have a way to shuffle my deck. So I think I'm actually going to pitch a Brainstorm. Okay. Okay. So that puts us up to 18.
I'll pass.
Alright, so I'm going to draw this, and I know the top card of my deck. So I don't actually want to fire this off yet because I want to draw that card based on what I know is in his hand. And I know 2 of the 3 cards. I know it's a Click and a Wasteland. So he may not have another white source. So I think I'm actually going to go ahead and fire off a Wasteland on his Tundra and just pass it back to him.
Oh, waste a seat.
Okay.
Go.
Alright, so that worked out alright. At this point, I think I want to lead with Brainstorm here because I can use this to reset it if I need to. But that I'm not a Delver expert, so that could possibly be very wrong. Brainstorm.
Sure.
2, 3. Okay, well, this card is going to be absurd if we can get to it.
I think I used my fetch lands all wrong.
Maybe. Yeah, this card will be absurd if we can get to it. So I want to keep this, and I want to use this to reset our deck. But I'm not sure what I want to get rid of because I do want to keep this too because the card we know is in his hand, but he can't actually cast it yet, so maybe we're not that worried about it. So I think maybe I put these 2 back, or maybe I put I think I put these 2 back like this, and then I can just wait a turn on this since we're not under any serious threat. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then just pass the turn back. And we can afford to wait a turn.
Well, that was a good card.
Life from the Loam. Yep, that resolves. So that's kind of a rough one for us. What are the ones you got? Windswept Heath, Wasteland, and Tundra? Okay.
And you have 2 cards?
Yep.
I don't think that so I can either just start wastelanding him here, or I can just try to get to this card, because I don't think you can actually beat this card. So I think that I'm just going to play a Windswept Heath. And then I will pass the turn.
Alright, well, we're going to draw this card that we know is on top. Cast a Ponder. So this is our Ponder here. It's unfortunately not exactly what we're looking for, since we want to get this out there. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle. Draw. Oh, that's actually a good one. Play Deathrite Shaman.
Yep.
Go.
Alright, well, we're going to fetch.
Alright, at 17.
Put me at 16.
Demis.
This is my 4th fetch. I fetched 3 times and then
Okay.
4th.
You had me at 18 though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to plow your Deathrite Shaman.
Alright, that's unfortunate for us that the card he had before was Plow.
So you're 19.
Yep.
Right now, decide if I want to dredge here or not. I don't think I need to. I think I can just dredge next turn. So I'm going to take a fresh draw.
Okay.
And then I'll play my Tundra, and we'll play Elspeth.
Okay.
And I'll make a soldier, and we'll pass. Yep.
Go.
Alright, so now we're going to start dredging.
Those are good ones.
Yeah. So we'll attack.
18.
We'll make a soldier. And I don't think that I want to Life from the Loam, or I don't think that I want to Wasteland yet. I could just waste and then just let my Elspeth take 3. Like, I'm not really planning on using the ultimate here. Yeah, I'll waste here.
I will float a blue.
Alright, I will go to my instep.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Trigger.
Yep.
Nope. Draw.
Right.
I'm just going to go ahead and concede.
Okay.
All right, we're back for game 5. I reverted back to my on the play configuration. Okay, well, this hand is kind of mediocre, but could be like devastating depending on the texture of his hand. But it's probably not that great, but we do have this card right here, so I'm going to keep it.
Yeah, I mean, my hand seems pretty good, so.
Okay, Underground Sea Ponder. And our Ponder is going to need to be good.
I was like, did you keep your hand because you had Mystery Rainforest? Was that the card you...
Alright, cut me something good.
Deal.
Alright, let's Ponder away. Ooh.
Shuffle.
Yeah, this is actually a shuffle. Like, these cards are good, but this is like super awkward with our hand. Well, maybe I keep it. No, I don't think I can keep this. Yeah, it's just a little too awkward with our hand, so I will shuffle actually.
Fair.
All right. Perfect. Go.
Was it really?
Yep.
Darn it.
Noble Hierarch.
Don't daze me, bro.
Oh, man.
Don't you do it.
I think we have to daze that, actually.
Go. I hate getting spells countered by that card.
Go.
Well, that was an interesting draw.
Was it now?
It actually was.
Lucky. All right. Back to 20.
For 0.
Yep.
And then it'll be your turn.
Disfigure your Dried Arbor. Wasteland your Tundra. Go.
It's not very nice.
No, it is not. Stop having lands.
Alright, well, we're going to get a basic Plains. I'm going to cast Stoneforge Mistake.
Jeez. Alright, your hand was pretty good.
I just drew the Stoneforge, but the rest of it was quite cute.
Keeping land-heavy hands is like very good against decks like this. I don't know if you had those lands or you drew them or what, but...
I had like 3 or 4 in my opening hand.
Yeah.
Along with like the Hierarch and the Zenith.
Alright, well we need to draw something sweet here. That's not it, but I will go ahead and ponder.
Alright.
Well, those are some of the cards that we need. So we want to draw this card, and we don't want to see either of these, so I'm going to draw this. If he has, well, maybe, yeah, I don't think I want to draw, well, I might want to draw this, actually. I'm not sure. Yeah. You have 4 cards in your hand?
Yep, 4.
Like our plan right now is these two to take care of like what he's got going on.
Top season another Disfigure? Jeez.
So towards that end, I want to draw. I think I do want to draw both of these, but I could. That might be wrong. But I'm gonna draw this one at the very least. Let's say go. Let's see what he does.
Right, so we have these 2 cards as options. And I think that getting this in play is going to be better because it doesn't die to Abrupt Decay, and this does. So and I don't think that I want to play this. Which one of these do I play? I think I just play this one. And we'll activate Stoneforge.
Yep.
Oh, I want one without a sleeve. We'll get a Germ. And then I'll pass.
Thespian Stage can copy any land, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, I don't really want him to copy my... He doesn't have a blue source, which is like reassuring. I'm just gonna draw the card that's on top. I'm gonna Wasteland your Thespian Stage. And I'll just say go.
Combat?
Yep.
I'll attack for 5.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and fetch. Get a Bayou. So I think I have to just Abrupt Decay the Germ token here, just to clear the board some.
Right.
I take 1 to go to 19.
Should be 18.
Did I? Oh, I fetched. That's right. Yeah, I fetched
you
a 19.
Fetched twice and you gained.
Yeah, yeah.
You have 3.
Yep.
Alright, I'll play Neither Reliquary. And I'll pass.
Oh man. All right. I needed him to not have another play or another land. He unfortunately had both. 2 cards.
Yep.
I feel like Brainstorm into Abrupt Decay might be our only chance of winning this game. So I'm going to go for that. Brainstorm.
Results.
That was a bad Brainstorm. That was a really bad one. Put these 2 back. What, I'm at 18 right now?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll put those 2 back and then cast Sylvan Library. Go.
2 cards?
Yep.
Alright, so we'll draw. And so that will let us suit up the Batterskull if we want to. But I think that I would just rather get in some damage and further my board a bit. So we're gonna fetch. We'll get a Tropical Island. While I'm doing it, I might as well. I'll cast this Unfortunate Stick. And get Jet, cast it, and then attack for 5, 7, 8.
It's only 7, right? Oh no, yeah, that's right. You have 5
7 and
lands.
8.
Yeah. All right, I'm at 10.
Go ahead.
All right, Sylvan Library. Well, those are really bad. I'm at 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I might have to take an extra card just so that my next library sees more cards. So I'm going to take these 2 because this card's not going to do anything.
Can we go to 6?
Yeah, I go to 6. Sacrifice a creature. Go.
Okay. So yeah, so I drew a fetch, so I'll just land 17. I think that I just equip my Stoneforge with the Batterskull. Yeah, I can't. I don't think. Yeah, I don't have a land that I can get with this when I'm attacking to do anything. So I'll equip.
Cut.
And then send everything at you.
Alright, well, I'll block this thing so I don't die.
Yep, and go to 1.
Yep. You're at 22.
22. Good.
Alright, library. And we're dead. Alright, we are back for the conclusion of our match, where CVM got very, very lucky every single game.
And I won, I did.
I got really unlucky and lost, and no, that's not actually what happened, but they're actually pretty good games for the most part.
Yeah, I feel like
the exception of game 2 where you just like
made it 2020 on turn 4 or whatever.
yeah, you just like had the combo naturally and I just died. Which I mean is a reason to play those cards. Like sometimes you just draw both of them.
Yep.
You drew both again in game 5, but I had the Wasteland to break it up. But yeah, What were your thoughts on the deck?
So I feel like as a rough draft, it could be built better.
Okay.
I think that all these types of cards are very powerful, and I feel like a Bant strategy lines up pretty well against most of the Delver strategies. I just don't know where it falls as far as against like the combo decks is the big problem. So, like I didn't draw the removal spell to see how it would actually play with, when the game's being interactive. But I feel like because you didn't have True Name Nemesis, it just didn't matter that it was a 3-mana removal spell. It could have just been Path to Exile and be just as fine.
Yeah.
But I think against other decks, it will potentially be pretty good.
Yeah. We never saw Will of the Council. It seemed like you might need more blue sources. It seemed like you were a little stretched on blue mana.
Yeah, so it definitely should have a basic island. Should be in the deck.
Should either have a basic island or 0 basics.
I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely like having the basic island. And I think that you probably don't want the Karakas in the main, and you can probably get rid of the Bajuka Bog in the sideboard and just play like Relic of Progenitus instead.
Okay.
Those are definitely some changes that I would make. Stoneforge ended up actually being pretty good. I think it's going to end up being pretty good against the majority of the format. It could just be that you don't care about natural order and you just be a Bant deck.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible, but then, I don't know, like, a lot of times the Bant decks are kind of underpowered.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, why aren't you playing, like, Deathblade or something like that?
Yeah.
What does the green really offer you? Like, it gives you more guys, but is that actually, like, what you want to be doing?
Exactly.
And I think having, like, the natural order gives you, like, a completely different element that might be worth it. But, maybe not. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it could just be that you just be playing Deathblade. Which I did play this last weekend and didn't win a single game.
Lucky.
Yeah. I did get to see X-Men, though. That was sweet.
Yeah, it was a sweet movie.
The old 03 drop watch X-Men.
See, I had a bit of a longer. I had a 5/4 not drop, not get anything.
Yeah.
Wish I had seen X-Men.
Wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yep.
What did you think of Bug Delver? So this is the Delver deck that's not getting as much press as the other two.
So I have told people that I didn't think Bug Delver was very good, but I could very well be wrong. I think that it is better than Blue White Red Delver.
Why?
Mainly because of the reason I don't like Blue White Red Delver is because Blue White Red Delver is, in my opinion, like the slowest of the Delver decks.
Yes.
And I think that if you want to win with the card Delver of Secrets, you either need to be fast. Like Rug Delver is the fastest in my opinion. And I think Rug Delver is actually the best, just because of its speed. Rug Delver takes advantage of cards like Stifle and Daze better than the other decks do, because it's fast enough to put that kind of pressure on your opponent, where Daze is gonna actually be like super impactful. Your opponent has to play their cards on curve, or they fall too far behind. Making your Dazes and Spell Pierces actually counter things that are relevant.
Yeah.
And I think the Blue White Red is so slow that that's just not the case. And I think that Bug falls somewhere in between, because you do get Abrupt Decay, which gives you so much game against like things like Counterbalance and other things that like really are good against other Delver decks. But you also get Thoughtseize, so you're not like, even though you're a little slower than Rug Delver, you have more disruption against combo decks. So I think that Bug's actually good. And I think that Tombstalker's actually very good too, which I did side him out because you have like Path and Plow. But I think that he is better than True Name.
Against like the other Delver decks, he's very good.
I think he's better than True Name Nemesis in this deck. Against other Delver decks and against non-Delver decks, like combo decks or all kinds of random things. Like I want a cheaper 5/5 flyer than a 3/1.
Yeah.
Especially with this deck only playing 19 lands. Like if you don't have a Deathrite Shaman, it's going to be hard to cast True Name a lot of times. Especially because you want to fetch Underground Sea Bayou. So you can cast like Hymn to Torak and Liliana.
But still be able to play like Abrupt Decay and Tarmogoyf.
Still be able to play Abrupt Decay and Tarmogoyf. Like you want those two lands, and you can cast Tombstalker off of those lands. You cannot cast True Name Nemesis.
Yeah.
So I really like Tombstalker a lot. I decided to play Thoughtseize over him, which is kind of actually all the lists that I saw played him, and I decided to go rogue and play Thoughtseize because I feel like you want a cheaper curve.
I can see that. Now, the big problem that I have with this deck, and I played a bit with it because I was going to play it in a tournament and ended up switching to Blue White Red Delver, was that every hand that I either goldfished or played against somebody that had Deathrite Shaman and Delver of Secrets in my opening hand, there was never a point where I wanted to just cast Delver instead of Deathrite Shaman. So at that point, I was asking myself, why is Delver of Secrets even in the deck?
I actually feel the opposite. I think that there's a lot of hands where you actually do want to cast Delver first. For example, Land, Wasteland, Deathrite, Delver. I want to go like turn 1 Delver, turn 2 Deathrite, Waste you. And then on turn 3 I can cast like Goyf plus Thoughtseize or
like,
whatever.
Is that better than just going like turn 1 Deathrite, turn 2 Waste you, play Goyf?
I think so, yeah, because Delver is, at that stage in the game, Delver is more aggressive than Goyf.
Now, that deck has much less, I don't even know if that's proper English, but there are fewer ways in that deck to actually flip a Delver of Secrets than there are in the other 2 decks. So, like, does
Not by that much.
Does that make Delver like worse in this deck than the other decks, or
a little bit? Like, I don't think you actually have that many less. You have Liliana, which doesn't flip it, but that's akin to like Batterskull Jit in the blue-white red
But you also
versions.
have like Goyf and Deathrite Shaman, and some of the Bug Delver decks also play Dark Confidant. So like a lot of the Bug Delver decks have like 12 creatures plus the Liliana.
I think if I was playing Dark Confidant, I would not play Delver. Like I think at that point you're choosing to be a different deck.
Okay.
Because I don't think Dark Confidant and Delver actually like go that well together.
I mean, Eric Rowe won a tournament with them.
Yeah, but I mean, he's won a tournament with Edric. Like I don't think you can say that. Like I don't think that Dark Confidant and Delver go that well together because Confidant wants to play like a kind of a grindier game, and Delver you just want to kill your opponent, and Confidant doesn't kill them very well.
I agree.
So that's yeah. So I think if you're playing those cards, yeah, you don't want to play Delver in that kind of a deck, but I don't think you want to play those cards. And I think this deck does want Delver, 100%. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. We got a little long-winded at the end, but we could pretty much talk infinitely about Legacy. There's so much
Especially
going
Delver
on.
of Secrets. Like there's so many different decks that card goes into.
But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed these 2 decks. I do like a lot of the aspects of that Bant deck. I like having the different combos to win. Like I think you want in Legacy right now. I think you want to be playing either Delver, like something that wins quickly, or have a way to immediately win the game, and which is why I don't like Shardless Bug or Deathblade right now, because they don't have any of that kind of stuff, and you can just still lose games that go long.
Yeah.
Or you want to have some sort of engine like Counterbalance that locks your opponent out.
I agree.
So I like the fact that your deck has ways to win the game, and I like the fact that this deck has like ways to quickly close with Delver and so forth.
For sure.
So you could definitely do worse than playing a deck like these in your next Legacy event. But yeah, again, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed.
Yeah, absolutely. This weekend is Providence. Brian and I will be there battling. Next weekend will be Columbus for the Invitational. And starting next weekend, or maybe it's this weekend, but the modern PTQs for Pro Tour Warlords of Khans of Tarkir. I can't remember that.
Honolulu.
Yeah, Honolulu. Khans of Tarkir. The PTQs are modern, so we're going to need you guys to give us some suggestions on what modern decks you'd like to see in the versus videos, because I'm sure at some point we'll be able to twist Cedric's arm and have him allow us to do a modern video.
Or we'll just do it and not tell him. Yeah.
So make sure you guys post in the comments the modern decks that you guys want to see. Also, if you want to see any more Legacy decks, let us know. Invitational is coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend, and the top 8 for that will be Legacy, so we might just want to go back-to-back and showcase another sweet Legacy deck.
Yeah, like Counterbalance.
I hope not. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for stopping by.
See ya.